What's going on, everyone? This is the Brand Builder, and in today's video I want to talk about REIT investing. So let's get into that topic really quick. Let's talk about REIT investing. I made a video on this topic before, and I talked about passive income. And passive income is a really great thing because it means that you get paid for investing. Basically, you don't have to actually work for the income. Now, passive income is something that people can sometimes be attracted to, but not everyone, because we live in a society where we have a lotto mentality or a litigation mentality. So it's really hard for people to wait on something to grow overnight and the snowball, right? Because dividend growth investing, for example, is something that takes a long time. You're not really going to see too many returns unless you're heavy into capital and have loose money. So if you're not heavy into capital, it can take you up to 10 years to see decent returns in the market. And for most cases, it still takes quite a while to see really good returns, because even as a dividend growth investor, there's a lot of ups and downs with the market. Sometimes the market's down and it can stay that way for a good period of time, and sometimes the market can be up, and depending on when you buy stocks or shares can determine capital gains growth or dividend income and how you benefit from either side of the spectrum. So as far as REITs are concerned, REITs are really special because REITs are really just a basket of real estate, and it's very attractive because the idea of being a landlord is a very attractive idea. A lot of people think to themselves, well, if I can have somebody paying me rent every month, then that's a good thing. I can make some passive income. But there's so much tied to that. There's maintenance, there's always issues. Sometimes you have tenants who don't pay rent. Sometimes you have tenants who are late with rent payments. Sometimes you have tenants that damage the property, and sometimes there's just regular wear and tear on property that you have to manage over time. And not everybody wants to have to do that all the time. So the alternative is REIT investing, and REITs have actually shown more returns as of late than hard property has over time for the average investor. I mean, if you're a multi-millionaire, you're probably going to make more money with actually owning land, because you can just continue to use that passive income to invest in more and more properties, probably buy properties with hundreds and up to thousands of units, where you can really reap the rewards. And REIT investing is quite amazing. I used a couple of examples, and I'll probably use more as we go along, of different companies that pay pretty good returns. So keep in mind that one of the things you want to look at is you want to make sure that when you're investing in REITs, you're looking at companies that have a certain earnings per share. You want to look at the yield. You don't want the yield to be way too high. I mentioned two companies. I mentioned LTC, and I've mentioned Stag in particular. Those are two of my favorite REITs. There are some other really good ones. There's O Realty, and I made an example in my last video about why REITs are so amazing and the benefits as far as tax is concerned. REIT companies don't really have to pay taxes, so they have to distribute 90% of their income to their shareholders, which can be very profitable, but it gets taxed as ordinary income. So it gets taxed as ordinary income in portfolio. So the best place, some people say, for REITs are in a retirement account, but I beg to differ. I don't mind the taxes. So I would say a good balance of both. Have it in your personal portfolio for purposes of income growth. It's always good to have income, and that's why ETFs are really good. See, ETFs tend to have this thing where they charge, like, there's a maintenance fee, a management fee for having an ETF. So although it's not taxed as ordinary dividends, it's taxed at a discount to REITs. REITs, you don't really have to pay that maintenance fee. So it's basically just almost like a stock. Only difference is you're taxed at ordinary income rate. And REITs are incredible for building a portfolio of properties that you want to invest in. So you don't have to just have all your eggs in one basket. So for example, if you wanted to buy an apartment building in New York City or somewhere else, if something ever happened to that building, you're pretty much out of business, and you'd have to start over again. But if you had investments in different properties in different sectors, I'm doing this video outside, so you're gonna hear some noise. I absolutely love nature, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna be going fishing when I put the kayaks on the top of my vehicle. So anyway, there's lower volatility when you can diversify your portfolio. So if you have the healthcare sector, LTC is a healthcare sector, senior living and healthcare, I love it. But for hotels and stuff like that, I use APLE. Right now they're on the downswing as far as the stock price, but there's a few hotels that still haven't opened up yet. That's not due to open until next year, 2020. So I'm holding on to my APLE, Apple Hospitality REIT stocks, and when stocks are on the decline, I'm usually buying. As long as the company has a good balance sheet, or FFO, and their EPS is pretty good, I'm very faithful of that. So I know that sometimes companies have to pay some cost up front to build, but I like the companies that have equity and liquidity, the companies that actually invest in physical properties versus mortgage. I don't really like to do mortgage REITs. Some people do like doing mortgage REITs. I'm not one of them. But passive income is really good, and it takes a while to build. Suppose your budget is probably about $5,000 a year, and you can do this for about, let's say, 10 years. You can build your portfolio in about 10 years, and you can see a return of about $200 to $300, maybe $200 to $400 a month. That wouldn't be so bad. So now you're seeing some pretty decent returns. If you're the kind of person that makes pretty good money and you can afford to invest $15,000 a year into stocks and REITs, then you'll see a larger return, maybe anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a month, and that can be pretty good income. And I always say, for people who want to be landlords and have investment properties, maybe REITs can be actually training wheels almost, for example. So passive income is always good no matter how you put it. And the thing is, it's really just a shift of habits. You go from being a consumer and, for example, buying new cars, clothes, new sneakers, jewelry, gold watches, or anything like that, to thinking about, let me invest in something that pays me. So often as you continue to do that, you get to grow in that direction and do better for yourself and start to learn how to build your brand. And you can first start with the brand builder. So anyway, subscribe to this video. Please like the video if the information is great and you think it works out. And basically, so that I'm not dependent on YouTube or anything like that, right now I'm looking for patrons, people who can donate $5 or pledge $5 a month to help me grow this channel. I have to go outside of the norms to make this thing grow. I've been trying for a long time to build this channel up, and I guess YouTube's doing something different now. Help the algorithm by liking the videos, but become a patron. Just pledge $5 a month, and what'll happen is on all the videos I will mention your name if you're a pledger. I will try to find ways in the future where pledging can benefit better, where I can get different pledge amounts and get people to become producers of the content. There'll be more rewards, gifts, possibly even brand builder t-shirts. So if you want a t-shirt that says the brand builder, possibly signed by me, there will be some benefits to that. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the content. Please comment below. Tell me what you think about this Patreon idea and pledging idea. What would it take to get you to pledge? For some of those people who think that $5 may be a little too steep, let me know. I don't think it's too steep. But I almost thought about doing $1, but I think that would be a waste of time for pledgers and for the channel. So let's see what we can do. If for some people who may think that's too low, just comment below. Let's talk and let's discuss what you think could be a better idea. I'm thinking if I can start getting pledges for up to $25 a month, I can do something even better. Even possibly build an exclusive website, and we can talk more about that later. But just make sure you like the video, comment below, and who wants to be the first pledger? The very first pledger, if you're the first pledger, I have a special reward, and I'm not going to talk about it until I get that first pledger, and we'll see what happens from there. All right? So like the video, pledge, go to Patreon. You obviously have to pay the $5 right away because I have it set that way. And pledge to the channel. The first person that pledges is going to get a special gift. I'm not going to say what, but let's get going with this and let's build this channel. Let's have a great time and let's invest. If you want to have me start doing videos where I'm showing some of my favorite investments, let me know too as well. All right? Thank you for watching and have a good one.